We've been powering our ships this way for thousands of years. It's always been linked to freedom. It's always been linked to independence, being on a ship sailing across the sea. When I look at a giant wind farm, I see energy independence. I don't see oil barges pulling into our ports. It's liberating to see that. We've gone from flip phones to iPhones in 10 years. And we're looking at that same thing in wind. You know, we started out with these plywood wind turbines on 2x4 towers to, I've got a 300-foot tall wind turbine here. You know, I love driving up and seeing these, they're really monuments. They're on such a grand scale, and these are not as big as they could be. Because that's really the direction we want to go, is more bang for your buck with these wind turbines. As far as megawatt per emissions, wind power is fantastic. The drawbacks are the footprint. You know, it's a large area that has to be occupied by wind turbines because you can't put them close together. So that's why it is important to have diversified power sources until we get to the point where we can properly store energy economically. It can take up to 5 years from the concept of a wind farm to breaking ground. And when you're trying to run a company that makes money, it's difficult to deal with uncertainty where, you know, next year they don't want you to use that BLM land anymore, and they just flip the switch. Well, you know, you're out so many millions of dollars in development. As we come online, we actually drive dirtier sources off. Not completely, but we push them down, and then we kind of sit on top of them. And as wind blows, we push them down further. There is variability in the wind, and there's things that we can do to kind of smooth that choppiness out. They don't like what that does to their profit margins. What we've done to decouple the energy sector from the economics of energy has really helped. For the most part, energy companies make their money not necessarily based on people consuming power. It's gotten to the point where PG&E is paying people to make their homes more efficient, and that's, you know, subsidizing efficiency. But I don't think we're to the point where energy producers are decoupled. At some point in time, coal needs to go away. Natural gas eventually will need to go away. It's a finite resource to begin with. We have to be okay with things going away. You know, we can't have coal too big to fail. You know, we can't have banks that are too big to fail. Sometimes things need to go away, you know, as politely as possible.